Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with a Get It Scrapped sketch layout. My layout will be posted on their blog as well as on my blog, and I will also have this video for you to watch the process for. So I just wanted to get on and kind of do a little introduction because I have a lot of thoughts behind this sketch. I really love this sketch, and the idea that the thing that I love the most about it is that it's a multi-photo layout, and it's more than 5 photos. So it's a 7-photo layout, and I love these layouts because I can get more than just a few photos on a layout, and it's not a Project Life spread. I love Project Life, but I just am a layout maker at heart. I will do Project Life, and I actually had planned on printing all of these off and putting them in a Project Life spread. But when I saw this sketch, I was so super excited. So I have decided it calls for one big long photo. And I think it looks like it's bigger than 4x6, but I don't have the option to print a bigger photo than 4x6 right now. I mean, I could send it off to get printed, but when I'm making this layout, I only have 3 days to make it. So I really can't just sit and wait to do that, and I really don't want to do a large photo, so I just used my Canon selfie and I printed this one off. Now it did have a little caption down here at the bottom because I think this one was I shot this on Instagram stories, and then I typed this and then saved the photo. So I don't actually have this photo without this little Snow Much Fun on there. So that's the only thing that bothers me about this photo. I really like how long it is and how far away the camera is with them in the middle. I also like this one. This is the same photo. It's the same photo as you can see. I just zoomed in on the kids and cut out this phrase. I like it, but the thing that bothers me is that my Canon selfie crops. So even if I crop it, it crops it even more. So I made sure there was room on this side, but apparently I didn't make sure there was enough room on this side when I zoomed it in. So Tinian's fingers are kind of cut off. I know it probably doesn't bother anybody else except me. So I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards this photo. I mean, they're the same size. Maybe I might just cut this down a little bit more. So maybe I'll try that. And maybe it won't look so odd to me, because it just looks too, it doesn't look rectangular enough. And that looks much better. I literally cut off like 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. But this photo looks so much better to me than this one. And I think I do like this one better. So I'm just going to keep that. I'll probably still put it in Project Life since I did use my Canon selfie to print it. I hate wasting ink. So yeah, whatever, I probably won't use all of these photos. So whatever photos I don't use, I will probably put in my, what is it called? Project Life. So I already have, like you can see, this is the same photo as here, and this is the same photo as these 2 photos. I just printed them off 3 different ways because I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to use them. So I definitely will use the extra photos in my Project Life. I think this one I decided was too big for this sketch. So I think I'll put these 2 over here to the side, put those in a Project Life spread, and just journal about them separately. This one I had cut up because I thought, oh, maybe it would be fun to kind of spread them out on the layout, and it's an individual photo of each of my boys that were playing out in the snow. So if you haven't been following me, this is Brennan right here. This is my 10-year-old. And then this is Tinian. Oops. Cutting off his head. This is Tinian, my 6-year-old, and they love to play outside in the snow. And I think this was, I can't remember when this was. I think it was a couple weeks ago. I think it was like the 1st or the 2nd. Maybe it was the 31st. I don't remember. It was sometime after Christmas, and they were still home from school. It might have actually been the 31st, because I think I did send them outside to go play for a while on New Year's Eve, and so they did, and it was so cute. It was so cute. I absolutely love the story behind these photos, and I did post about it on Facebook because I just thought it was so cute. So they went outside to go play, and I went outside to take photos of them, and they were just kind of like playing in the snow, and then they went and grabbed the what is this thing? The sled. And Tinian was having Brennan pull him and act like a reindeer. And Tinian was saying, on Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer and Vixen, on Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. It was so cute. Like, he literally said all of their names. And I just thought it was so adorable. So I took a ton of photos of them. This is them. I don't know if you can tell what they're doing, but they're gathering presents. They're just making little snowballs and putting them in the sleigh, and then Tinian sits on top of the presents, and Brennan was crawling on the snow. So I just thought that these photos were just so stinking cute, and I had to scrapbook them. So I'm thinking these two I'm probably not going to use because I kind of like having the full image in there. So I'll figure out a use of those somehow. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to change the SketchUp a bit just so that it fits my photos. And I don't know. This is kind of what I'm thinking right now. Not really sure. But I'm going to put you on fast forward. And I'm going to kind of do my thing. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this layout, and I hope you are enjoying all the layouts that I am making and posting for Get It Scrapped. I don't always get a chance to record my layouts for Get It Scrapped, but I'm trying to be better about that this year, and I hope that I can post at least one Get It Scrapped layout for you a month. Thanks so much for watching. Okay, so here we go. I am going to start by kind of playing around with the photos and trying to figure out exactly where I want each one of these to be placed. And I am going to use these 5 photos, I think is how many I end up using. Yes, those are the 5 photos I'm going to use. And right now I'm off trying to pick out paper. I should have grabbed that before I started the video back up again. But I had this paper that I got from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and it is white. And I like the idea of white on white, especially since the white of the snow isn't the same white as the background. Then I come to my, excuse me, to my Valentine's Day collection from Crepe Paper that was from last year. And then I was like, no, you know what? I think I want to do kind of Christmassy, but not really Christmassy, more wintry. So here you can see I'm pulling out these papers, and this is a pink paisley paper pad that I got from Michael's. I think it was a hot buy. And there it is. It is specialty paper, and it's called Noel. I really have no idea if you can still buy this paper bag. But I really like these. They're kind of neutral colors, but at the same time they're blues and kind of teals. So here I'm going to decide on using this polka dot paper that has writing in it, and it says things like fa la la la, and let's see, what else does it say? I think like Let It Snow and Oh What Fun. I think it's just a bunch of Christmas songs written in typecast inside the little circles. So here I'm going to use my slate gray ink from Close to My Heart, and I'm just going to ink the edges of all of the papers. And I am going to back my photo on 3 different papers. The original sketch actually doesn't call for that many layers, but I really, really loved the idea of layering it on so many different papers. And I really wanted to use this glitter specialty paper. I think it's just little snowflakes, but you can see there that there was glitter coming off of it, so much so that it was getting onto my ink pad from my sponge. So that was kind of funny. I had to show you that. Okay, so now here I'm going to add this extra layer behind the photo as well. And there was a little bit left over, so I am going to incorporate that on the right side of the layout as well. This paper wasn't quite big enough, which was okay. I don't mind that it wasn't covering the whole photo, so I just kind of put it to the side, and you can't even really notice that there's not enough covering on the right hand side. Okay, so now I am going to start cutting up these extra scraps, and I'm going to put them next to the photos. So the sketch doesn't actually tell you where to put photos and where to put pattern paper, but I decided that I was going to use as many photos as I could, but then also incorporate some pattern paper onto the layout as well. And now I'm just gluing down the photos just to make sure that they don't move around as I'm trying to cut down the pattern papers that I want to include on the layout next to the photos. So here I'm going to use this pattern paper, and I'm just going to put it right there. And I'm trying to think if maybe I want to use specific words on the this pattern paper, and I do. So I end up cutting a new piece of paper and then messing around with just the placement of the photos. They felt a little bit crooked to me, so I just kept pulling them up and all of that stuff. Okay, so now I am going to pull off the background paper and kind of straighten that up, or not the background paper, but the main photo, straighten that out. And then I'm going to add this this diagonal paper, and the piece of it that I wanted to use had a little embossed snowflake in the bottom there. And so I'm just going to cut that piece to fit right there. I'm going to ink the edges, and that's going to help it stand out a little bit more against that background that is almost the same color as it. Now I am going to start embellishing the layout. I'm going to pull out, let's see, what do I pull out? I'm going to pull out some wood veneers, enamel dots, and buttons. And this wood veneer that I just placed down there has the word lovely on it. I did pull out some flare badges, but I decided not to use those. I'm going to end up going with a wood button instead. So here I have these old pink fresh wood veneer banners, and this one says happy on it. I'm going to place it up there. Then I also have that little craft tag that says good story. I believe that's from Fancy Pants. I got it in a I think I got that in a Click Kits ephemera pack. So here I'm going through more flare badges, but I'm just gonna decide I don't really like that. So I go off to my drawer and I find these little wood buttons from Chamel. I think they're from Chamel. And there was this one that had a hot cocoa mug on it. And so I'm going to use that because every time after they come in from playing in the snow, they always want to have hot chocolate. At least Brennan does. Tinian, for some reason, is my odd child and doesn't like hot chocolate. He's very weird, I know. Okay, so now I'm just gluing down all of these ephemera pieces and enamel dots, and then I'm going to move on to the title. Let's see, I think that's what I move on to next. Oh, I'm going to glue down that lovely wood veneer right there because I kind of knew that I wanted to do my title at the bottom of the photo. So now here, let's see, what am I going to do? Yes, so I pull out the alpha that I want to use for my title, and I had tried to use this on a layout back in November, I think, last year, but I decided against it, and so I still had the title written out. I didn't actually put the letters away. So I had the words "that love," which was perfect because it totally gave me the idea for the title, which I thought would be cute, was "That Love of Winter." I thought about changing it to "Their Love of Winter," but I liked the word "that." So here I'm just going to place it down at the bottom of the photo, and I absolutely love how that turned out. I think after this, I'm going to feel like that picture on the bigger picture on the right just is kind of bare. In the sketch, it does have a scalloped edge on a piece of paper or, ephemera or something like that. So I'm going to decide to pull out that sparkly paper that has snowflakes on it, and I'm going to do a decorative edge punch on it. So here you can see that's what I'm doing right there. I pull out my Fisker's punch, and it is just a scalloped edge. And I'm just going to glue that down underneath the photo. And I really like how simple that turned out and how it looked. After this, I am going to cut apart a piece of scrap paper just to see how much journaling I wanted to do. And I'm actually going to end up doing more journaling than the piece of paper. So I'm going to kind of mess around with this because I was thinking I wanted to keep it to a small piece of journaling, but I knew that my story was a little bit longer than that. So I'm going to kind of mess around with the journaling spot. So you can see that that's what I'm doing here. For some reason, well, okay, not for some reason, but I really like to do a test run of my journaling on a scrap piece of paper just because I am horrible and notorious for not leaving myself enough room to do journaling. So I like to practice, and it has helped me a lot in the last little bit that I have been deciding to do this. So here I am writing for the third time, and I did actually change my pen to be a thinner pen. I think this is the 35mm pen from EK Tools. Okay, so now you can see I finished writing on that other journaling pen, or that journaling strip, but it's just not going to work out. And I did consider maybe typing up my journaling, but I am a lazy scrapbooker most of the time, and so I didn't really want to have to type it all up and then cut it apart and make it work. So I'm just going to write it out, and since I have so much to say, it is going to go longer, and I'm actually okay with it. I kind of wish that I would have just gone with the idea of typing, but oh well, it worked out. It's okay. I'm happy with it. So here I am just going to start writing it out, and the journaling says, Brennan and Tinian love to play in the snow together. Tinian decided he was Santa and Brennan a reindeer, pulling his sleigh full of toys, calling out, on Dasher, on Dancer, on Comet, on Cupid, ... So here I'm just finishing up the journaling, and then that is going to be the end of this layout. I kept it super simple with the embellishing just because there were so many photos, so the layout already was pretty busy. Now, let's see, I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, I was trying to make sure I was spelling the word comet right because I didn't want to spell it wrong. And then that is going to be the end. I am going to write "Such Cuties" over underneath the title, and because I just wanted to make sure that they know I think they're cute. That is it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next month with another Get It Scrapped layout. Bye!